This conference will now be recorded.
Good afternoon. Today I'm going to introduce a new concept called material. And this material is such an important subject because it allows you to visualize what you have done in Revit, and it allows you to give the right color and texture for your 3D model. It allows you to add lighting for your 3D model. It allows you to you know get give life to your 3D model. Exactly, that I can say that. Now in today's class, I have listed some of the things which I'm going to teach you, because it's going to be a long class. So I thought I can write down what I'm going to teach you today, so that I will not miss out anything, and I'll keep this as my lesson plan. In case the class extend little longer, over 1 hour, I'll just stop the class and continue the uh, remaining concepts in the next class. So that is why I exactly wrote it down. So so though this class is about material, I need to introduce about camera and lighting and rendering. Now there are other concepts along with this. Material is material. The word material in Revit means the color or the texture that represents a particular three-dimensional object, or color or a texture that represents a particular building element, say wall. In what color, in what kind of a texture? Slab, what kind of a slab? Is it concrete slab, or a granite slab, or a marble slab? um, okay, and if you have a staircase, what color is that staircase? So that is what material means. Now there are different ways in which there is only a standard way to create material, but applying material can vary according to your purpose. Now for example, um, if you want to create a wall, while creation itself, you can add a particular kind of a material for that wall and use the same type of wall in and around the project. So that is one way you can apply material. And another way is just to paint the material wherever you feel like applying. Okay, so that is another way to apply material. One during the creation of the object itself, another one just create the object, that's fine. We can paint it in the way we want. That is another way of applying material. Okay, now the first method, that is creating a wall with the material itself. So that I will explain now very clearly, and this will be helpful if you are going to have multiple copies of the same building, or if you are going to have multiple floors with the same color of same wall color or same wall texture, or whatever it may be. At that time, this way of applying material will help. So that is about applying material, but the creation of material is predominantly, I'll touch on 3 points. Point number one, how to create a new color, new material with a color, number one. Number two, how to create a new material with a texture, with a kind of texture, maybe adjust their properties of the texture. Properties meaning some textures are rough, some textures are smooth. So that is the property of the texture. Number three, how can I show uh, you know grooves on the wall? Like when you see a brick wall, you don't only see the brick with the lines in between, but you see the grooves for the brick wall. This particular technique, how to do? Now that is called in this subject of 3D visualization, showing grooves, showing grooves of the wall or creating grooves on the wall, creating reliefs on the wall. That is called bump map. Bump map meaning creating reliefs on the wall, like grooves on the wall. However deep it can be, it differs. It can be a few centimeters deep, just few deep. That depends upon what you want. So these are the things which I'm going to teach you in material. So before even I should begin with material, I'll talk about camera. Now what you're seeing is a three-dimensional viewport. If you see 3D view over here, it says 3D. This is a 3D viewport, and that is the reason you have this thing flying around here. You can just turn in all direction and see. And this is what you already know, it is floor plan. This is level 1, level 2. These are all floor plans, and it is just a two-dimensional view. Where is three-dimensional view? It is over here. I think you know this already. How will you go to this? Either from here you can click here and come here, or you can go here and click here. In the sense, when you are here, when you are in level 0, if you want to see 3D view, default 3D view. This is one method. This is the second method. The third method is when you are in floor plan, go to view and click on 3D view. These are the three ways you reach a three-dimensional viewport, 3D viewport. Okay. Now, what is camera? Camera is a little more complicated 3D viewport. Now it has a uh, um, it has a view and it has a target. It has two things. It has a view of the eye level, and a target also. It has a target also. Let me explain that clearly. Now, how to create a camera? You go to view. Maybe you will be here. You go to view, go to 3D view. Okay, just missed a point. While creating camera, it is easier to go into one of these levels, either level 1, 2, 3, any level it may be. You can go to one of these levels and go to view and say, maybe if you are here, you can go to view displays, and then select here and then give camera, and then this is the starting point from where you are going to view and till where you are going to view. So this end point is called target. Click here. So that is the camera automatically gets created, and once it is created, it creates something called 3D view 1. It creates another viewport over here, three-dimensional viewport over here, called 3D view 1. So in order to differentiate from the standard viewport, which is this, it gives a different name. And another beauty of Revit camera is you can click here, you can drag this, you can make it taller so that it will, according to your composition and things like that, you can fix it. Okay. So if you go to level 1, when you are here, if your border of this camera is selected, and if you go to level 1, you will see from where to where the camera is on. So this is where the eye level is there, and this is the target level. This is the target level, and this is the eye level. So this is how you see a camera. But unfortunately, if you click somewhere else in the floor plan, the camera goes missing. Now, where did this camera go? It never goes anywhere. It stays in your Revit program. Don't worry about it. And excuse me. So the problem is uh, no lines or nothing will indicate that the camera is present. If you go to level 1 also you don't see, level 2 also you don't see. Okay, anywhere you go it doesn't, it is not seen. Now this is intentionally done so that you don't have too many lines in the viewport. Revit has seen that very carefully, and it avoids showing the camera until unless you go and select it. So then will have the question, how will I go and select the camera when you don't even see? It's very simple. You can go here, click that. So you see the camera, you select this border and go to level 1. There you are, you see your camera again. Now why is it useful? Very simple, you can move your camera and see what it has done. So that is the idea of selecting the camera and moving the camera. You can select like this and go to level 1 or any level for that matter, and then move the camera around and see what change it has made. Okay, and then there are two important points which I need to talk about in camera. What is it? If you select the camera again by selecting the border, you will see something over here which is called the eye elevation. Eye elevation. Now, this means, it simply means your eye level. Say, now I am 173 centimeter, so in mm, 1500 and 1730 mm is my eye level. If I am going to stand in front of this house, this is what it looks like for me. Then I can move my head up and down. Maybe I'm looking at the floor, target elevation, 0, apply. This is how I will look down. Now, if you want to see, if you're trying to look at this point, maybe over here, so you just average, you can calculate 3000 plus 450 is 3450. So, if you are going to look at this height, you better type 3450 and say apply. That's how you're going to look. Now, I don't see any point in looking up like this or down like that. What I would prefer is a height at this level, so that your camera looks a bit decent to see. And sometimes you can raise your elevation, say eye elevation, like a bird's eye view. You can give 6000, that is 20 feet high. If you're seeing like an eagle, then this is it. This is how you see the house. Okay, so I think you would have understood what you mean by high elevation, target elevation, how to select the camera, like on the border, and move around the camera. What is the position of the camera in relation to the house, etc. I think you would have understood. So what I do is I just make a note of things which I have taught you like this, so that I don't miss anything. Okay, now I taught you about camera. Now let me see, you can create many more camera. Okay, if I want to create one more camera, it's quite simple. Go to again view, or even you can go to here and click on a camera, and maybe you can see the house from this angle. Okay, now you see the, so see, you add up another 3D view, and this is called 3D view 2. So this is how you add cameras. And if you feel this camera is a bit close, you can select that camera, go to level 1 or level 2, whatever. You can drag the camera slightly behind, okay, and see how it's gonna look. Yeah, so that's looking absolutely fine. Okay, so this is how we are creating cameras. And I think you remember the commands like SD shaded, HL hidden line, and WF is for wireframe. So I've just reminded you of all those commands, and I'm going to the next topic. What is it? It is sun path and shadow. These are the two things which I need to explain. Now, what is a sun path and what is shadow? Where will you enable them? Now, if you see this camera, you don't have any casted shadow. There's no shadow. Absolutely, there's no shadow, but there is a shade. I can agree there's a shade. This is of a darker shade, and this is lighter, just to indicate, that the sun is on this side. Okay, the sun is on this side, so this is gray. So this is sort of an indication, but not. There is no absolute thing. We don't know where the sun is still. So here we have a button called sun path. This is sun path, which is represented by a sun, and X, it is off. It is off. You can switch it on by clicking sun path on, and you can give specify project date time instead. So you can click that, and you can just click that, and I will teach you what to do. Okay, so once you do that, See, there is a line running around. That's exactly a sun path. How does sun travel from one point to one point? So that is what is shown. See, in 3D viewport, I have not activated the sun path, so I'm going to switch on sun path. So it says June 1. This is the path of the travel of the sun. Now this will help you to cast realistic shadows if you have done your drawing as per the correct orientation to the site. Okay, so you will know where and which place what kind of a um, how the light will fall and all those things you will clearly know. So I have switched on the sun path in all the viewports, viewport 1, viewport 2, and viewport 3, the default viewport, everything I have switched on the sun path. The second next thing which I need to show you is shadow off. It's in shadow off. Switch on the shadow, which will allow you to see or simulate how the shadow will appear at any given time, certain given time. Now how do you give timing? So you click on the same sun path and go to sun setting. You can click on still, and there are different ways to look give the location. You can you know this is your Google map. You can travel. So the default is somewhere in US because the software is built there. So where is our Bangalore somewhere here. Okay, so you can give the exact place. Now my house is somewhere over here, so I can give the exact place how the sun is uh, going to be there in that particular place. Can give the address. uh, SFS school. mm, it's not. Now it has to be electronic city. So and somewhere, so you click electronic city India, so that is it, exactly picked it up. That is one way of giving a location. This is one way of giving location. Okay, the other way of giving location, if you're not connected to internet, you can directly give the place. You can give Bangalore directly over here. You can give Bangalore, and you can give the date. This is some 10-year-old calendar, so you have to go to 2020 April 13th, and the time is 10 o'clock. I want to see how the shadow of this particular house is by 10 o'clock. Okay, 10 o'clock, this is going to be the scene. Okay, I think this house is facing south, so the sun is somewhere in that corner. By 4 o'clock, let me see. Wow, that's even worse. South facing house, things are really worse. Okay, just a minute. So I'll go here, sun setting again. 11, apply. 9, is it okay? 2, think only 11 looks somewhat okay. I gave 11 o'clock, and this is kind of shadow you will get in this location if your house is facing south. Okay, if you are facing in the east, then things are a bit different, bit favorable for you. So these are the things you can do with sun setting. This is very important if you are going to give a light study. Okay, this is very important if you're going to give. It will help you in positioning your windows and all that. You There's another funny thing in this. You can actually make uh, Just a minute. Okay. So what we can do is, I'll just continue with this. Um, so if you see here in sun setting, mm, you can, you know, single day, you can give the entire day from morning dawn till dusk. Every hour it will um, sunrise to sunset. It will create 13 frames. 13 frames. It will show you how exactly uh, the sun is going to travel for you in front of your house. That's one part of it. So that you can do, or if it is not necessary, you can just give still and give. Again, I think it went to the sad part. It went to 2010, and we have to fix to 11. Apply somewhat. Okay, this is how it is. So you can have this rendered. Okay, now let me come to the next point. I have covered sun path, and I have covered sun path setting. I know what is switch on light and shadow. What is going to happen if you switch on light and shadow? Okay, now I will come to this point called material. Okay, so what is material? So let me finish taking what I have taught you already. Now, what is material? Now, I earlier told you something, that I can give, I can create a material while creating the wall itself, so that I will build that wall with that particular color throughout the project. So now I am going to teach you how. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a wall like this. Okay, so creating a wall like this. Okay, so maybe in 3D view it is showing like this. It's okay, it's a small wall. And uh, I have used, what did I use there? I used 140 masonry. So this is the wall which I am using. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy this here. CO, just moving this here. CO is for copy, and then you can just give TR, TR. That's about it. Okay. Just draw the wall till here, as though you are creating a compound. Okay, so let it be like that. So I can also teach you um, how to, you know, um, how does it matter, because if you create a wall with the material itself, how it is going to be helpful for you. That is what is my subject now. Okay, so select this wall now. Now this wall is 140 masonry wall, which means it is made out of some kind of a brick. Okay, so I'll go to edit. Okay, and now if you dig deeply, see edit, concrete masonry unit. Okay, for some reason I won't take up this masonry wall. I prefer to select a just simple wall, which I can explain things much clearer than this. Okay, so instead of this, I will select a simple generic 230 mm wall. A simple wall, generic 230 mm wall. Okay, so what is the speciality of this wall? There's nothing special. That is it. So I can start teaching from the basic. So um, how will I work on it? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. So if you notice, this also is 230 mm wall. This is also 230 mm wall. So if I select 230 mm wall, and if I am going to apply a particular color for it, it is going to apply over here, here, everywhere, because these are all 230 mm wall. So I'll just explain that first. Okay, how is it? What does it matter? Okay, so I'll select this wall and I'll go to edit. So now I'm teaching you how to create a wall by applying a material itself, and then that wall can be used everywhere. That is what I'm teaching you now. Second thing what I'll teach you will be how to paint a particular material. Now you are creating the material with the wall. So that is why I select the wall and give edit type and go here, go to edit structure. Now here what I'm going to do is I am going to reduce the structure by 210 mm. Now what does it mean? 210 is the thickness of the wall, and I'm going to add a finish. That is, when I mean by finish, it is nothing but plastering inside and outside. Two plasters I'm giving 10 mm, 10 mm. Let's not go very technically. I'm just teaching you how to do all these things. Okay, so structure. So here structure is 210 mm. Okay, 210 mm. Okay, let it be 230 itself. I'm not changing this. And what I'm going to do is, now first and foremost what I'm going to teach you is how to add a new material. How will I add a new material? So I'll click here, over here, come here, as a new material. So it's a default new material, and just rename it and call it white. I call this default new material, rename default new material white, and go to appearance and say click on this color. I didn't go to graphic and do, I went to appearance. Appearance. Please remember, graphic also has the same thing. Go to appearance. Only in appearance you can select some, I mean the color, white color. And now come to graphic and click on use render appearance. Now you might be wondering, what is this? What is this? Now here, if you have done something in appearance, let the graphic also use what is used in appearance. Now what does it mean? It means this panel, the appearance panel, is for what has to be rendered and seen, and graphic panel is what is seen in the viewport, what is seen now as you are working. This is what is seen after rendering, and this is what is seen right now. Now if you have not ticked this, this might be very different. This might be something like this. So while rendering, you will see it as white, and while seeing, you might see it as something like gray, which I never want. I want to see how it is going to be rendered even in the viewport. That is why I told you first work on this, fix on the color over here like this, and come here and click on this use render appearance. Now once you do this, and if you give apply, okay, you see that the white here material, it says it is white. Give okay. So if you give okay, so what happens is your 230 mm wall is white, so as these fellows, these walls have also turned out to be white, because you are using the same generic 230 wall to build this house. So that is why automatically it turned into white. Now how to render this, I'll teach you. You go to view and click on render, and instead of going to a printer, which we can do while you're submitting your work, now you can use screen and just give best and exterior sun only. That's fine. You can have few clouds or no clouds, that is up to you. I decide to keep few clouds and click on render and see what's going to happen. So what happens is computer takes some time to render. It is in screen, but setting is best. So yes, with few clouds, it is showing how the shadow will fall. As I told you, everything clear from this side to this side. Sun is hitting, so the shadow is falling that side, and this is how your house will look like. Okay. The only thing I missed, anyway, I'll do that and render. Only thing I missed here is site. I have not added anything for site. I have not seen the ground, shown the ground. So I go to massing, topography. You all know this. If you click somewhere like this, say OK. So that means topography is added, and you go. Here we go. You come here. Just render it once more and show you how different it is. Render and render. So now I have added topography, that is, I have added a land to the whole thing, and I am rendering. Let's see how it is going to give an output. So it looks good with the sand. It clearly shows how it will look after rendering. So notice the render time is around 2 minutes 15 seconds. Um, it's kind of a big wait. Okay, should be 2 minutes 30 seconds. I think that is what is the wait time. No more than that. Really taking long. So one thing you have to understand: all the softwares needs a very good um, system. And so see, you have it here, and now there are few other options which I want to show you here. Now, what is it? If you give save to project, please have a good look here. Save to project and say 3D view 1 1. So one panel, one small heading opens and it says that is saved in your project. This image is saved in your project. You can export that also. I'm going to save this in a folder where, not here, commons, online classes, okay, advanced class. uh, just okay. So I'll click this and just save it. Okay. So I have saved this image. Okay, there are few other things you can do. You can just give adjust exposure. What you can do is you can make it 16 and apply and see it is darker. Make it 12 and apply and see it's too bright. So 14 is sort of normal. There are many other things. You just try adjusting all the stuff and see what is appropriate. Now see, now this earlier I had kept very few clouds. You can give few clouds. You can make it cloudy. You can have very cloudy. You can give no cloud also. So these are the options for the sky. These are all the options for the sky. Okay. So you can try that every time you render something. Now the point is here I have taught you just to add a color, one color to the whole wall. That is on either side of the wall. You have the same color. That is my first option. Okay, now I am going to say I'm going to show model. I'm going to go here and I'm going to teach you the next option available. What is the next option available? Okay, I'm going to edit this wall type and call it duplicate, and then yellow white. That is the name of my new wall, because how it is going to be, it is going to be yellow outside the house and white inside the house. Okay, now to do that, you can't just manage with one simple structure of 230 mm. You have to make it center structure as 210 mm, and you have to insert something. I added insert and there is nothing here. Now I'll add something called finish one, which is nothing but plaster 10 mm. And if you notice here, this is the exterior side and this is the interior side. If you want this to be on the exterior side, just give up and push this whole thing above core boundary. And I need to add one more plaster, um, by clicking here and say finish 2. And now this I'm going to bring it down below the core boundary to the inside. Now I have added one plaster, number 1 and number 5. Number 1 is exterior side, also exterior plaster because it is on the exterior side. Here it is interior side, and because it is towards the interior side, number 5. So how will you add color? So here again click on the material, three dots. So what did I say exterior is going to be? Create new material, right click, rename EX yellow. So that's the name of my material because it represents the exterior and it's going to be yellow. And see what do you see here? It is 120, 120, 120, nothing but a gray kind of a color. So don't do anything with that. Go to appearance as I told you earlier. Go here, click on yellow, give OK. Come to the graphic and just tick on use appearance. So I have given an exterior color of yellow right now and I have applied it and given OK. So finish 1, which is on the exterior side, is yellow. What about the finish 2, which is towards the interiors? I wanted to keep it white. I want the interiors to be white. So what am I doing here? New material. I'm going to rename the material and call it INTWHIT. So what does is mean? It means interior white. Go to appearances, like I told you earlier. Click on white. Come to graphics. Use render appearances. Apply OK. So this wall, which is called yellow white of 230, has a structure. What do you mean by structure? The inside wall is pure white and the exterior side is going to yellow and interior side it is going to be what? White. So I'll give this. Oh, sorry, I have not added thickness for the interior side. It is asking for that. I have added that and given OK. So I have given this. Now what I should do, I have done this over here. I've changed it into yellow white. If you click on this realistic, you'll come to know. So yellow white, what is yellow white? Exterior yellow, is that so? Yeah, exterior yellow. Interior white, is that so? Interior white. It's all done. Just checked it, nothing to worry, just checked it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the floor plan and select only these compound walls and convert them into yellow white. Okay, I'm not going to touch the real walls. It is going to be 230 mm straight like that. I'm not going to touch that. Just clicked on the compound walls and I want to see what's happening. So like I told you, see the exterior side has to be. So here we have some problems. That is while constructing, I think this I made it in a, uh, in a different way. So I can do one thing. So if you go to 3D, this is very helpful to sort out things like this. And select this, give a space bar. So exterior side will always become okay. Give a space bar. Exterior is always white and interior is going to be yellow. Oh, sorry, we need exterior yellow. I'm sorry. So I'm just going to flip all these walls by just clicking on the space bar. So I got what I wanted. Okay, did you get it? Yeah. So what extra I have to do? Nothing, but you have to. Okay, I just want to give this wall alone. Okay, the yellow white wall. So this is going to be yellow, and these other walls are normal wall with both sides white. See, basic wall 230, both sides are white. Nothing to worry. So let me check if I, yeah. So only this I changed the wall type. Nothing else to worry. Okay, and I'll go to the camera. Oh, I, yeah, I'll render it from this angle anyway. So what is it going to be? I'll click on render and okay, I don't want the best. Now I just give, let it be, let me have a good look at it. So I just give render. Only I have to wait for about 2 minutes to get the output. So as it's happening, I just want to see, yeah, coloring. Now I have completed what is coloring. What I'm going to teach you next is how to apply texture. Okay, how to apply texture. One is relief pattern, like if you have a brick, you'll see the grooves. You have a uh, granite masonry, stone masonry wall, you'll see the relief pattern. So things like that. Another one is plane. Plane means uh, how to show reflection. Sorry. So I'll show. So these are the things which coloring I have taught you already. Till now, it was about coloring. So you see that whatever I assumed just happened. I gave yellow, yellow in the front. Inside of the wall is going to be white. So you can know that by seeing this compound wall, and that is exactly why I gave. And the center of the wall is still white. I gave white for the structure. So that is the reason you see the center white, inside is something else, and outside is something else. Okay. So I think you got that one pretty clear. Let it render. We'll have a close look. Then we'll get into the next one, how to add a texture. It took about 3 minutes, 25, 28, 20, 30, 30, almost this 1 minute more than what was needed earlier. Okay, almost exactly 1 minute more than what it took earlier. So it is done. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to save this to project, which means I'll have one more saved here, and then um, okay, there's render. So I should have um, okay. So I should give export exterior yellow. So that is the second thing which I want to save. So I have saved that also. You saw that exterior yellow JPEG, saved that. Okay. So I did that now. Now what is the next aim? The next thing, save the project please. I will save as okay. So what I'm going to do is next I want to show you how to create, you know, reflection and things like that. Uh, okay, I'll make a small wall or something like that to show you that, because showing reflection, it looks very unnatural to show reflection on a wall. Like here, you don't have a mirror finish on the wall. It looks absolutely um, rubbish. So we'll have a wall over here. Okay, small wall over here, and okay, so unconnected. We'll have it say this is gonna be a wall over here, and from here you see there'll be a wall over here. Yeah, that this is a masonry wall, which I don't want a masonry wall. I want to keep a granite wall like thing, with good reflection. It is going to be black, but then it will reflect. It is going to be so polished that it will reflect what is over here. That is my whole idea. So I just want to show that. Um, oh, I have another idea. This, instead of yellow and white, I am going to use the same 230 white. And what I'll do is I will go to level 1, okay, and add a split. What did I add? So it's nothing but, go to modify, you have a split element, SL is split element. So what actually happens is, over here the wall is split into two. Till here there is a wall, until and from here to here there's a different wall. Now why am I doing? I'm going to show a different material over here. This will remain as white, and there it will be a polished granite or marble or something like that. Okay, so how am I going to do? So here again I'll go to edit type and say 230 mm. I'll change it into marble. So I will give edit. So that particular one is going to be a marble, it's not going to be white. So I'll go here. So new material, default material, rename marble. Now remember, um, always have capital so that, so I will remember my material so that I'll name it uniquely. So what am I going to do here is that I'll go to appearances again as usual, how I taught you before. And here I'm going to click, instead of the color I'm going to click here and add some image. Now I have a huge material library which is nothing but materials downloaded from internet and kept inside. So I'm going to pick one of these materials, one of the marbles. Okay, something. uh, Let me see what this is. Right click and preview. What is, okay, something like this. I may not look great, but I have to show you what I really mean by that. Okay, so that is the whole point. Okay, this is okay. Preview or something. Preview. This is too much of close up. Okay, I'll use this only. So I'll use this. Don't think this name suits it. Polished granite will be fine. Okay, so I renamed it. So this is the kind of this thing, and I'm going to increase the glossiness of this. It is like going to shine like anything. And this is the image, and once again if you click here it will show the image size. Now if you notice clearly, the image size is 304.80 mm, which is nothing but 1 feet. Do you think 1 feet by 1 feet will have this much detail? Definitely no. So you make it, what I would say is, you make it 10 feet, 3048 mm by 3048 mm. So 10 feet slab with this much of detail is going to be okay for you. So this is the subject which I was talking about, called tiling. Tiling means you have a texture, you have to tell the computer to what size it has to fit. It cannot be 1 feet by 1 feet. 1 feet by 1 feet will look very bad with such detail image. So it is 10 feet by 10 feet, which is going to be spread all over, and you've done. Now I hope you'll remember all that, because this area was empty. So I clicked, it went where I have to. It asked for where is the image. I gave the image. Secondly, I clicked on the image so that I give the size of the image. Earlier it was 1 feet by 1 feet, which was actually 304.80 mm, 304.80 mm. Now I changed into 3048 mm by 3048 mm, which is nothing but 10 feet, and gave done. Now you apply this and give OK and give OK. So, and so now what I've done is, this part alone I am giving polished granite. Polished granite. See, this is how it is going to be. While rendering, you will see the shine and sheen of it. So go to view, click on render, and let's see what best we can get. So that way I'm teaching you reflection and how to show the glossiness, etc. I'm given too much of glossiness now. I think 90% or something I gave glossiness. There is a good chance that this whole thing will slow down little more. It may go even for 4 minutes 46 seconds. But let us see. Hope and see that it ends fast. So that actually makes helps me to say that I have completed till here. I think today I can complete one more topic called bump or relief pattern. I'll just finish that, and yeah, even texture sizing and texture, even that I have taught. And this only bump or relief pattern is remaining. I'll show you that. And end the class. Yeah, I have taught you different materials on the same wall using split element. Even that I have done. Only bump map is remaining. We'll do that now and end the class. So tomorrow we'll have cladding and painting. How to apply material using paint. How to add picture on the wall using decal. Align, isolate, height, reveal, exterior, right, everything. All those things we can discuss tomorrow. And you see, one good thing is it was showing shadows here even in the preview before rendering, and that's exactly what is happening. So the switching on the sun path, you are really getting a good idea about how the sun and the shade will work, even when you don't have, um, even when the rendering is not done. So that is one good thing about sun path. So the ending 3 minutes 40 almost. So here you can see how that if you see how that granite slab, which I gave the correct amount of tiling sizes, and then I got the desired result here. The only thing is I'm not clearly able to see the reflection because there is nothing much to reflect over here, but I am sure if the glossiness is given so much, the reflections also will be seen, provided we have something in front of it. Okay, it shows some kind of a smoothness on the texture, but definitely not in the way we predicted. It will definitely be seen if something is in front of it, maybe a car or something is there, you will get the reflection right here. That was the only mistake which I have, but I'm very sure about it, you will get a good reflection. Now coming to, okay, let me save this to the project and let me export this to my folder over here, and from the online class. So many. So now what next is nothing but the bump map or relief pattern, which I want to teach you. Now here what I thought is I'll add okay, so what I thought is I'll create a wall. Okay, duplicate. I call this, yeah, as yellow brick. Nothing but I'll click here. Here also I will create a new material. You rename it, call it yellow brick. Okay, and go to appearance. Here maybe since you don't need any texture, you can just give the color yellow. Okay, or if you want to give any texture, you have to click here and add what texture you are giving, like size stone masonry or granite or whatever. That if you click here, it will go. Okay, so here I am going to have a yellow itself, but then I want to give make it look like a brick. So how will you do that? You come here down, first of all appearance, then the color, then come here bump, you click on bump. It went on asking. So I have a location where okay, so I can even show you where your default materials are kept. Go to C colon program files, common files, Autodesk shared materials, textures 1. And here in material there are a lot of materials. It is available for you in your computer once you install Revit. So here you can check with masonry. I want to use remember this uh, the bump map is white and gray or white and black. Okay, okay, so why is it white and gray and white and black? That is because you know how the bump map works. The bump map works with white color seen in a raised surface, and the black color or the gray color seen as a recessed surface, that is seen as a groove. That is how the bump map work. So you will always have bump map either in black and white. So if you don't have a bump map, don't worry, select any of these images, and in Photoshop you can convert into black and white and use it as a bump map. Otherwise you will have the you can use directly black and white um, bump maps. Okay, I feel like selecting this. I give open. Now I'm giving the depth amount. I'm giving nice and high. That groove should be really seen hard. And I'm going to click this image, and again I'm going to adjust the size. Again, this is in some bad size, that is 1 feet. So I don't think it will work. So I will give like 5 feet by 5 feet, which will be a good size to have. And I'll give done. How I arrive with the size, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. So there are 10 bricks, almost 6 5 4 5 inches here with a groove. This two will become 1 feet. So how many? 1 2 3 4 5. This is how I make a rough calculation. And I forgot to tell you that. Okay, so I made this as 5 feet by 5 feet, gave done, gave apply, and gave okay and okay. Okay, so what you're going to see is going to render up and show up like this. Let us see that also. Okay, if it is given 10 by 10, this brick might be seen little closer to each other. So I think 10 by 10 is a good size. Now this one looked like a prison rather than a house. So I think I will give 10 by 10. So how will you go back to the same place? See, You can go by selecting the wall, again go to edit, go here, edit, and click here. That is one way of going to the same place again. Other ways, you can go to manage, click on material, directly it will go to the material library. You don't have to go all the way around. Go to appearance. How will you adjust the size of it? Go to bump and click here and say give 3000. Oh no, that was 30,000. 3000 by 3000. Say done, apply. That doesn't show anything great. Just a minute. Manage material. I think the earlier one was a correct size. 3000 by 3000 is bigger. So I think it should be smaller. 750 by 750. Done, apply. Okay, so that is kind of a size which I was looking for. And sorry, you have to go to view and click on render. Let us see what it has to give us. So you notice that it started showing the grooves properly. You can see the lines, vertical lines and horizontal lines. I think only when rendered you can go zoom close to the wall and have a good look at it. You have to wait for some more time. Now I'm trying to give all these funny colors so that you will see things brighter even if my recording is not clear. And that doesn't mean I love all these colors. You can give colors which are really pleasing, and not to worry about what I've given here. Okay, so these I just gave yellow, all the bright colors, so that it will be seen clearly for you. You'll understand the difference very easily, without even zooming at it. In video you cannot zoom anything. So considering all these things, I have given dark colors. Okay, it's not that I like them so well that I'm using always yellow or black or red or whatever it may be. So I think this time the render time extended to 4 minutes 25 seconds, 27, 22, 4 minutes for the almost a minute more than the last time. That's because now it is calculating reflection as well as the grooves, the recesses. It's called recess. So that is also uh, calculated and it is rendered. Okay, so I think for the time being, I have taught till here. What is remaining is cladding and painting using paint material, decal, this, that. All those things I will cover in the next class. So I'll zoom and see. First of all, let me save this to the project, export it to my folder so that I will have a track of it. Online videos, 7 yellow brick, call it yellow brick, right? Save it. Okay, let me zoom it and show you how to see. It clearly gives everything, though it is a screen resolution. Best, it's not very great resolution, 1343 by 648. It's not a great resolution, but still it has managed to show everything very clearly. I'm sure if you're going to increase the resolution, um, it is going to be shown properly, more clearer than this. Uh, and so I think I have I'm done with what I have to teach you today. So thank you very much. So I will um, continue with giving cladding, align, okay, isolate, hide, and rendering interiors, which is very important. I will show you all that in tomorrow's class. Then thank you. Bye.